Well, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. Today on the table in front of us is a new knife to the collection, although this is not a new knife. This is the 2017 ADV, Andre de Villers, Mini Pathfinder. And I have been kind of looking for one of these for a while. I happened to get this one in a raffle, as I tend to get a lot of my expensive knives. This is, as I said, the Mini Pathfinder. How mini is it? Well, this is the full-size Pathfinder. And as you can see, the Mini lives up to its name. It is a smaller knife, for me in particular, but it is a missing piece of the collection, so I was really glad to add it. I do love this blade shape quite a bit. Let's do some size comparisons right off the bat. Here it is against the Benchmade Bug Out, which is my general small knife comparison knife. And up against an even smaller knife, this is the Drop Gent, designed by Ferrum Forge. As you can see, the the Mini Pathfinder is larger than these two knives. It is, it's a good midweight knife, I think, is the way I'll put it. It is smaller for my hands, but for most people, I think it would be pretty ideal. You get S35VN. This one happens to have a DLC coating that gives it a faux hamon. The titanium scales have been milled out here. This is a mid-tech, which means that he orders the parts, they come, he puts them together, puts the final edge on them, and does all the bits and pieces. These were about $400 when you could get them new. They're less than that now on the secondary market. It is very comfortable. As you can see, it's right on the cusp of being too small for me, but it isn't. My hand fits this grip very, very nicely. In fact, the knife that it reminds me most of, with its S35VN blade, is this, the Chavez Redencion Street. This, of course, is the production one from Riot. These are both exceptional smaller knives. Now, for some of you, these are regular size knives. I get that. But again, for my collection, this is a small knife. I actually had a Butcher, the other ADV style, I don't happen to have it on the table right now, in this same basic pattern with the faux hamon and in this color and everything. And I actually sold that one because I had a different Butcher that I liked better. Of course, now I'm wishing I'd kept it because I would have had a matching Pathfinder. I love Andre de Villers knives. This is a great knife. Just no question. This, of course, fits me like it was made for me, and I carry this thing quite a bit. Not as much as some of my others, but it does get a ton of pocket time. This guy is, well, everything that this is, just scaled down. And I think that is very cool. I love when knife companies do this, generate an excellent knife and then make either a larger or a smaller size to appeal to a larger audience. Women Carry Knives has not had a chance to carry this yet, but when she does, I'm betting she's going to love it. Yep. Some of my tools are put away this week because this space has been cleared for primarily Women Carry Knives to do her work from home as we manage with the shelter-in-place order here in California. So I'm not going to be giving you the weight, and I'm not going to be giving you the blade thickness because, quite frankly, I don't know where those two tools are, my scale and my calipers. Sorry about that, guys. I will come back and review some of these with those tools once I get back to them, but for now, let's just take a look at this. The action on this is very good. Not as good as some knives I own, but excellent just the same. It has a nice steel lock bar insert, which is visible. As you can see, the milling is obvious. So it presents not a terribly heavy weight in your pocket. And one thing that Andre de Villers does is makes really nice clips. Now, as you can see, this one's got lots of space for heavy jeans. It has a ball bearing in it that allows it to slip in and out of the pocket very well. I just really love this. You know, that's kind of his thing. This knife is actually deeper carry than its larger brother over here. I very much wish that the full size had this clip on it. I don't know if that's a generational difference, although these are both from 2017. You can see that on the full size, but not on the smaller one. This blade shape, it isn't fancy. but man, is it a worker. And it doesn't come to a particularly razory edge down here, although this one is very, very sharp. These are about 4 millimeters thick back here. It is slightly, so this is 4 millimeters, this is probably 3.5. It is slightly thinner blade stock than on the large. But man, looking at this, I can tell you that no one has ever sharpened it. So this is still the factory edge all the way back from 2017, and it is very sharp, but a little thick behind the edge. That's okay. It has this beautiful fuller that runs the length of the blade. Unfortunately, the way it's designed, you cannot really, let's see. Oh, yes, you can. You can finger flick this open, which is a very nice feature. And of course, the very traditional Andre de Villers flipper tab down here never fails. This thing is a real joy to carry and to use. I love knives like this. I mean, you guys have been seeing my collection lately. It is a ton of fun to have. Knives with a lot of personality that also manage to be incredibly functional are really my thing. I love them quite a bit. There are art knives, there are fantasy knives. Look, if you love those, that's great. I just don't that much. So let's get the overall specs knocked out of the way here. You get 1, 2, 3 full inches of cutting on 3¼ inches of S35 VN. The overall knife is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5 inches long. The grip area from just behind the flipper tab is 1, 2, 3.5. Now, 3¾ is my actual comfort zone. Because of this notch right here, this is a little, well, it squeezes me a little. Whereas the Chavez, with that wonderful sort of rectangular handle design, doesn't do that at all. I think that's probably the primary difference. Collecting knives is a funny thing. You get locked into a maker or a manufacturer or a designer, and you start chasing their stuff. I've had 5 Andre de Villers knives, and I have 3 in my collection now because some come and go. That's the way it happens sometimes. This one, it's going to stick around for a while. I am very interested in it. I'm going to give it, I love the jimping back here and here across the backspacer. This thing really locks into your hand very well. If this was any other maker or any other knife with this sort of narrow grip area, I'd probably be thinking about moving it on. But because of who it is and because of what it is for my collection, I'm going to keep it for a while and see how I feel. If in the end I decide that it is not the knife for me, and of course if Women Carry Knives doesn't want it, I will probably move it along. But I won't know that until I've had it for a while. I've only had this for a few days. I guess that's about it. This is just a short take a look at, really. I hope you've enjoyed this. I know I've enjoyed sharing it with you. This, of course, again, is the Andre de Villers, or ADV, Pathfinder Mini. I think it's beautiful. I really do. If you have any questions about this knife, or any of the knives you've seen on my channel, feel free to ask down in the comments below. I know this is kind of a short video, guys, but with things the way they are right now, I'm just happy to be around, to be producing them so that you can watch them. Please like the video on your way out. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. I'd love to have you here on a regular basis. This has been the Andre de Villers Mini Pathfinder. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.